The Master Tavern Keeper's History of the Old World. I'll admit it right now, though. I was surprised at the weapons employed by the greenskins upon their boats. How their minds work boggles. The Boyer's Brew Tavern in Saltkalten, Ostland, in the year 1551 of the Imperial calendar.
Now, lad, when I was captive on the Urk ship, I actually overheard one of the older shipwrights teaching one of the younger greenies the story behind the smash hammers that you find on their great hulks. I'd gotten used to Urk speech by this time. Apparently, some of the first Orc shipwrights, those who had escaped the tower of the Dowie Tsar, had worked on boats called hull destroyers. Ships with powerful steam-powered rams that run almost the entire length of the boat. These ram into enemy vessels, driving deep into their hulls over and over and over again, like some frisky hill goblin.
I'm sorry, Drogar. A hill goblin? What's a hill goblin?
Ah, you manlins call them halflings, I believe. As I was about to say, the Urks wanted to make their own hull destroyers. But when they fitted battering rams to their own boats, they used the exact same ones that they used for besieging dwarf holds and the like. And because they were so big, the stupid greenies found they had no way of swinging them back and forth. The ram was too large, and their boats were too small. I'll give the Urks this, though. They were determined. Determined to get it to work. Next, it seems like they tried building big frames, and later large cranes, at the prows of their boats, in order to dangle their rams from. Obviously though, although the rams that were attached by chains were easy to swing, it immediately made the boat extremely unstable, and the vessel would invariably capsize and sink. The surviving orcs were not about to give up though. They built bigger boats. This solved the instability problem, but it did mean that they were now too slow to catch any other ships so that they could ram them. Apparently, frustration drove an ambitious young Urk shipwright to seek the advice of the Dowie Tsar, and he returned with a pair of new inventions: the iron claws and the smash hammer. The former are grapnel hooks that can be shot off to latch onto a ship and then drag it towards the Urk boat. The latter, the hammer, then pounds the captured vessel to smithereens, much to the delight of the greenies on deck. From the sinking wreckage, bedraggled prisoners can be easily fished out and slapped in irons. At least, that's what happened to me.
By the gods, that sounds horrendous.
You might say that, but that's not the only trick that the greenies have under their helmets. There are two other types of boats that you commonly see in Urk fleets, and of these, The driller killer boats, as they're called, which I also worked on, are the more bizarre of the two.
Driller Killer. What a strange name. Why is it called that?
Lad, yes, you might say that. It's because they've a large drill mounted at the front of the boat. They're smaller boats than the hulks, but like the hulks, they are powered by very large tread wheels at the back. These drive the boat forwards, although somewhat erratically. They also power the chain-driven system of gears and cogs that spin the drill. They had me working inside one for a few months. The gearing system was clearly Dowie in origin, albeit Dowie Tsar, and they had awful trouble keeping it going, oft resorting to whacking it with hammers. I, at least, was able to adjust the settings with a certain amount of finesse, but the other two ships in our squadron struggled, stopping and starting like some wheezing, goat-bothering crutty. Personally, I think the driller killer is essentially the Orcs' second attempt at a ramming ship, but in typical Orky fashion. Instead of a ram, they attached a massive drill to it. This too, no doubt a gift from the Dowie Tsar. I'll admit though, if they hit your boat, you're done for. That drill'll tear any vessel to pieces.
Indeed. I was just thinking back to the tale of Catelyn Candoom and Doran Heldor. The two dwarves were very lucky to have not encountered any of the boats of the Blue Face Orcs when they sailed through their waters. Anyway, you were saying that there were two further types of greenskin boats. What was the other one?
That's right, lad. The other type I saw were called Big Chuckers. These, like the hulks, are powered by tread wheels and large sails, and they need every ounce of propulsion they can get because they carry around enormous catapults, the aforementioned Big Chuckers. The tread wheel is also the thing that they use to wind back the arm of their catapults, meaning that the ships either have to move or shoot. They can't do both. Although, you probably wouldn't want to anyway. They're hard enough to aim even when stationary. They're dangerous though. They lob gigantic boulders heaved up into the catapults by trolls. Carrying this sort of heavy ammunition makes them even slower than you'd think they would be. So slow, in fact, that I saw a great hulk having to tow them to the battle one time. That was before they got there and got to do their business, as the Orcs say.
I see. So, Drogar, how long were you a captive of the Greenskins then?
Must have been about half a year or so before I was freed.
What? The Orcs freed you?
Don't be daft, lad.
At last! Drogor, we're over here!
Oi, big brother! I warmed the seat up for you. Come rest your pins. It wasn't the Orcs that freed me, Manlin. It was my twin brother Drogor here who did that. Why don't you ask him about it?